The Chicago Bulls fall to the Los Angeles Lakers 142 to 130. We're going to be talking about the key takeaways from tonight's loss. And so before we go ahead and we jump into it, I first want to remind you to slam dunk on that subscribe button, just like Modest Buzelis slam dunks in games. And so in exchange for slamming on that subscribe button, I'm going to give you nothing but daily content around the Chicago Bulls. And so make sure that you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, and you join the Chicago Bulls Insider family as we talk nothing but Chicago Bulls basketball. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump into it as we're talking about the key takeaways from tonight's loss against the Los Angeles Lakers. And so I have 2 points that really describe this game. And so the first one being that the Chicago Bulls did get some great contributions from their younger players. I think that Josh Giddey and Modest Buzelis continue to take steps here this season. We also got a chance to see some good performances here from Leonard Miller and Rob Dillingham, which we're going to talk about that in a moment. But the second point is that Luka just was unstoppable in this game for the Los Angeles Lakers. He had a very strong game for the Lakers. In fact, he put up a 50-point effort along with 9 assists and 10 rebounds. And so Luka having a very good game in this one. And also, too, LeBron James came on in the second half. He ended up with 18 points. He was a plus 12 in the plus-minus box score. He had 7 assists and 7 rebounds to go along with a block shot on 7 of 13 shooting. But again, Luka, 51 points, plus 15 in the plus-minus box score, 9 assists and 10 rebounds. He was 8 of 9 from the free throw line and 9 of 14 from downtown and 7 of 31 from the field in 37 minutes. And so just too much Luka and LeBron in this one. And so now I wanted to go ahead and jump into just the starters and the bench for the Chicago Bulls. And so starting with the starters for the Chicago Bulls and starting with Josh Giddey. And so Josh Giddey, another strong game. And so he almost has the triple-double, but he does get another double-double on the season. And so in this one, Josh Giddey was very aggressive as a scorer. In fact, he set a career high with the three-point makes at the 6 today. So 6 of 9 from downtown, had 27 points. He was a -8 in the plus-minus box score. He did have the 6 turnovers in this one, 2 steals. He had 15 assists as well. He had 8 rebounds, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 10 of 17 from the field in 40 minutes. Next up, Tre Jones. And so Tre Jones, look, we talk about this every time on the video. Look, Tre Jones competes at a high level on both ends of the floor. Even when the Chicago Bulls were out of the game, you could see that Tre Jones' effort was all over this game. And so I love that. 18 points, a -14. He had the 6 assists in this one, 1 steal, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 8 of 16 from the field, and 0 of 2 from deep in 32 minutes. Tre Jones continuing to try to make winning plays for the Chicago Bulls. Next up, speaking of those younger players that really showed out, it was Leonard Miller. And so Leonard Miller, I talked about this in the last post game, that Leonard Miller really needs to be getting minutes, because if you're looking for rotational players, I know it's just a small sample size, but man, Leonard Miller looks like a rotational player, and he might be the steal in that Minnesota Timberwolves trade for the Bulls. And so he had 15 points, a -11 in the plus-minus box score. He had 9 rebounds as well. He had the 1 steal. He had the 1 assist as well. And he was 6 of 9 from the field and 1 of 3 from deep in 31 minutes. And so what I love about Leonard Miller is that, man, he is fearless when it comes down to the offense. He doesn't really worry about missing shots and things like that. He's extremely active out there. And yes, he's not the best on-ball defender, but man, you could see the effort level. And even if he's not scoring the basketball, he's showing that he will go out and get you rebounds. And so Leonard Miller, I think he's doing a great job here. And so I want to continue to see more minutes from Leonard Miller. Next up, Modest Buzelis. So Modest Buzelis, look, I know it wasn't a 40-point game, but there were some steps that Modest Buzelis did take in this game. I like the fact that he hit the 22 points in this game. He was a -25 in the plus-minus box score, but you see that he got 2 blocks, and he is very close to getting to 100 blocks on the season. And so I think he could maybe finish with more than that. And so Modest Buzelis, again, showing us the shot blocking ability. And I love the confidence because he does go at Luka in this game, even though Luka does get the best of the Chicago Bulls. Really got the best of everybody out there. But still, I like the fact that Manas Buzelis did not back down in this game. And so that is something that you need to do as you take that step forward as a player, especially from a confidence standpoint. And so 6 rebounds in this game, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 4 of 11 from downtown, and 7 of 19 from the field in 35 minutes. Next up, looking at Jalen Smith. And so Jalen Smith did get the start in this game, and so there was no Yabusele in this one. But Jalen Smith, I think, had a solid performance as well. I know he doesn't get to the double-double as far as the rebounds are concerned, but still, he continues to show signs here in this second season with the Chicago Bulls, and I'll continue to say it. I have no idea how he did not get some minutes in some games last year, but man, he is making the most of his minutes. And so 14 points, a negative 18 in the plus-minus box score. He did have 4 rebounds, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 from deep, and 5 of 11 from the field in 30 minutes. And once again, too, Jalen Smith showing his versatility that, yes, he can play the 5. We know he can play the 4, but still, I think that this was a good game forward for him. Next up, Nick Richards. And so Nick Richards, this is a player that, look, I'm extremely high on as far as keeping him for next season. And so I'm hoping that the Bulls do work out another contract with Nick Richards because he continues to show that he can either start or come off the bench. He's terrific with just his gritty play. I love the fact that he is a lob threat for this team, which is something that I do think that this team needs, especially when you're talking about the guard play with Josh Giddey and Tre Jones. And so you can imagine if he's either starting or coming off the bench, I think he would be an impact. I've said this before with Nick Richards. He's not going to get in the way of any type of front court player that you're going to bring back. I don't think that he's going to get in the way of Noah Asingay once he comes back. And so Nick Richards, love to have him back. But 15 points in this game, did have a nice lob throwdown as well. And I love the finishes at the rim today. So -7 in the plus-minus box score. He also had 4 rebounds and assists. He was 7 of 9 from the field, 0 of 1 from deep in 26 minutes. That's also another thing I like about Nick Richards is he's not shying away from the three-point line since he's come over with the Bulls. Next up, Lachlan Olbrich. And so Lachlan Olbrich did come in, knock down some shots. I thought it was a 3-point shot. It turned out to be a long 2. But Lachlan Olbrich, look, I think that he's another player that should be getting some minutes here down the stretch. You want to see what you can get with Lachlan Olbrich. I think that he's had some pretty good performances in the G League or with the Windy City Bulls or whatnot. And so I do want to see what he looks like at the NBA level, but I do like the energy and the effort that we always see from Lachlan Olbrich. I think that that's been there throughout his time with the Chicago Bulls so far. Next up, Rob Dillingham. And so this was a solid game for Rob Dillingham. I like the fact that Rob Dillingham, number one, shows us the passing ability because he certainly is going to have that in his bag because he's got the speed, he's got the handles. He can get to anywhere on the floor, and he does show the vision as a point guard. You know, I think he's gotten a lot better over the last couple games. I think that there were some times where he was kind of throwing it a little bit low at some people and everything else, but now I think he's gotten a little bit more comfortable with his teammates and stuff like that, and he's starting to trust, you know, just his vision as far as finding players. And so he had a nice little lob up to Nick Richards in this one. And so that was a nice one. And he had some other good finds in this one. But I like the fact that we also see some scoring from Rob Dillingham too as well. He was out there pushing the pace and everything else. And so this was one of the better games, I think, for Rob Dillingham. We talked about this with the Boston Celtics game as well. But 12 points, a +10 in the plus-minus box score, 7 assists, 1 steal in this one. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 3 from deep, and 5 of 10 from the field in 29 minutes. And so I like the fact that he's getting the shot attempts. So let's see if Rob Dillingham can continue to really grow upon this because right now I think it is Leonard Miller that has really taken advantage of the opportunity since he's come over from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Can Rob Dillingham do the same? Next up for Yuki. And so look, Yuki Kawamura, I think he might have had the assist of the ball game. I love his off the glass throw there to Modest Buzelis, where Modest Buzelis is trailing and gets a dunk. And Yuki, man, continues to show us the court vision. You love Yuki every time he gets out there. And so 3 points in this one, a +7 in the plus-minus box score. He was 1 of 2 from deep, 1 of 2 from the field in 10 minutes. Just glad to see that Yuki is back here with the Chicago Bulls and playing. Next up, you see some of the players that were out. So there was no Colin Sexton, no Isaac Okoro, and then Gershon Yabusele was also out there too today. So now just going ahead and jumping into the team box score for the team here for the Chicago Bulls. And so the Chicago Bulls shot 45% from the field. You see the Lakers were at 42%, 15 of 47 from downtown for the Bulls, only shooting 32%. The Lakers at 37%. I think a lot of that came in the second half for the Lakers. As far as the free throws, you see that the Bulls shot 83%. You see that the Lakers shot 89%. The rebounds 64 to 49 for the Chicago Bulls, so they lead in that category. As far as the assists, 34 to 30 for the Chicago Bulls, 9 to 6 in steals for the Los Angeles Lakers, 12 to 6 in the block shots for the Lakers, 14 to 12 with the turnovers. The Bulls lead there, 17 points given up by both teams. And so even though the Chicago Bulls lead in the total turnovers, the fact that they keep them down, I do like that. The points in the paint for the Chicago Bulls, 64 to 44 in this game. Not bad for the Chicago Bulls there. And then as far as the fouls, you see that was 18 to 18 for the Chicago Bulls, the largest lead for the Lakers. I believe it was 22 points there for the Lakers at one point. Yeah, 22 points was the largest lead for the Lakers, and actually 7 for the Bulls. That was the largest lead. So anyway, you guys let me know in the comments here what you guys are thinking about this most recent loss here for the. We saw some good performances from the Chicago Bulls as we got a chance to see Josh Giddey get to a new career high with the 3-point shooting. I think that Modest Buzelis continues to take steps forward here in year number 2, and I'm liking what I'm seeing down the stretch from him defensively and offensively. And also too with Leonard Miller, I think that the Bulls really have found something here. I know it's a small sample size, but this young man should be in the lineup moving forward. So either coming off the bench or starting, I think that we need to see some more from Leonard Miller. And I think that this is a player that the Bulls might have found as far as maybe being a solid rotational piece here. So let's see if he can continue to play well. And then next with Tre Jones, look, Tre Jones, I think continues to play at a high level for the Chicago Bulls. We know that. And so we want to continue to see Tre Jones do what he's doing. And then also too, the story of the night was Luka really just taking it to the Chicago Bulls here. So anyway, you guys let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. And look, as we always say, go Bulls. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.